folks, I'm going to tell you 5 quick facts about black bull markets. Now, did you know, number 1, they're New Zealand FMA regulated. Number 2, did you know they have a copy trading service where you can either be a signal provider or copy signals? And number 3, did you know they've got over 26,000 tradable assets, including Forex, crypto, stocks, indices, and even more? And number 4, did you know they offer 500 to 1 leverage? And number 5, if you open up an account today and trade 1 lot a month, they're going to give you TradingView Pro for free. Check them out, Black Bull Markets.
Hello everyone. How's it going today? My name is Gentsla and welcome back to the stream. Okay, today we are, again, it is Friday. It's Friday the 16th for me. And we are out here streaming our Blue Guardian challenge that we have, our 100k Blue Guardian. And if you were in the previous streams, you would have noticed some things that we've said. And you would have noticed where price has gone, which is interesting. Okay, and I'll explain that today while we set everything up. So I'm just want to present this Blue Guardian right here. Okay, what we have, of course, is our Guardian Protector. So we have our 500. Let me turn that on. We have our 500. As an amount, okay, in percentage, that's like a 0.5%. I'm only risking 0.25% per thing, but I do this every single day. All right, Akoli, still night there? Good morning, good morning. Good morning to see everyone. Nice. What's up? C-A-Z? C-A-Say? I don't even know how to say it. Sazy. All right, let's go. Welcome. All right, now I'm going to get up I'm just going to close that. Okay, Blue Guardian evaluation. This is my risk for the day, and we use that. It's great. No other prop firm actually provides this kind of opportunity. So we're going to use that to make sure that we do not ever blow our accounts. Okay, that's important. We try not to blow our accounts as much as possible. Okay, we protect our capital, and it's Guardian protecting our capital, which is great. The Guardian uses 8 cap, almost 0 spread, which is good, which is great. There is $6 commission per lot round trip, which means that's $3 a side, which is really, really good. It's really, really good when it comes to things like that. Amos Atwell. I caught part of the replay yesterday. Was there a video where you showed your strats? It's so simple and beautiful. Well, thank you for saying that. Yes, it is really, really simple. You just set your HK gap, you set your end dog, and well, yesterday in the stream. So if you go back to yesterday on this channel, I basically presented my whole strategy and how to find what you're looking for, where you're looking for things. Price today was very interesting, and I'll show you now. I'll just remove this, and I'll present my TradingView screen. Okay, and we'll just make sure that it's nice and big for everyone. Nice, clear quality. Right now, I'm actually busy setting up the opening gap. So today it started at the DXY, if you can see. The DXY here, the gap over here, is 522 until 745. So we go into Euro and we copy that same thing. 522 until 745. 45, opening candle, which is there. That, drawn out in time, is your opening gap. Okay, now the 259 up here is the closing of Hong Kong. 9:15 is when let's move this. 9:15 is when the opening, so 9:16, so the end of 9:15 is when the opening of Hong Kong is going to be. Now we just draw that out in time. That's our opening gap. Now, as we were going before, you can see what happened in price yesterday. Well, it's today for some people, but for me it's yesterday. we were here yesterday in the stream, okay? And we set up our daily gap and we set up our Hong Kong gap. Now, 6:30, 7:30 broke down. It was a sell, obviously. I was expecting a buy at some point. The buy only presented an opportunity at the time that I said, which is between 250 and 310. There was an opportunity to take a buy. Okay, I took this on my personal. It was only a 6R, but it was the bottom. And what was the target? The Hong Kong gap. You could have taken it further, and it could have gone to the absolute moon. If I took that and I held it, okay, and I carried on holding, it would have been massive. Look at the R's on that, phenomenal. Okay, but I did not take that. Okay, as in I did not hold it because I'd already made my bank. It was done. Okay, now you might be thinking, well, where did price go to here? Why did it go all the way up here? Let's go back in time, okay, and explain. I did set up the said Hong Kong gap, Hong Kong gaps, okay. Opening gaps are very close to it as well. We go back in time and you look at what's over here. Wednesday, yesterday I explained what the MMG was, okay. The MMG is the mid-morning gap on Wednesday. Draw that out in time. Where did price come to? Why that exact place? And then turn around. Take that onto the daily. What's there? Okay, in ICT land, all right. He would call this wick over here, the middle of that wick, the 50% range of that wick, would be your consequent encroachment. So let's just put it here. No, not that one. Okay, 50% of the wick would be your, where's C. There we go. Consequent encroachment. See where price went to? The same thing. Consequent encroachment, or whatever floats your boat in finding analysis. Okay. And so price went to that point exactly, that Wednesday MMG that we identified yesterday, and that I told everyone what to look for. Okay, now we have made a huge range. Because of where we are on the chart, okay, again, it doesn't matter what is happening for the Asia trade. What I'm looking for is fairly simple, and unfortunately we're already there. It kicked in actually earlier today at 7:30. So what we look for is the lows and the highs between 6:30, which is over here, 6:30. You can see that candle right there. Whatever there's the lowest low next to it. Okay, the lowest low that's next to it over here. Up until 7:30, which is over here, that candle there. We drag that out in time. Okay, and that is now our sell side liquidity. And we have the highest high between that 6:30 candle and 7:30, which is there. Okay, 7:30 buy side. Now, what we can see here is that sell side has been taken. It came up, it did not reach for the buy side, and we're going to come down. There's a lot of space for it to continue going down, but with this, I expect it to come up and claim this liquidity. Those highs are very equal. It's too perfect. It's way too perfect. Again, my trading time, the activation time, is going to be somewhere between 8:50 over here and 9:10. My actual expectation for all of this, especially today, is that was seen to, so that's completed now. I can leave that there. We have this little piece of price down here, or that little piece of price down there. I was very happy that this was completed. This MMG. The one on this over here, up here, that on that Wednesday over there. So I'm just go back in time, and we're going to the 1 hour. Yeah, we have that MMG over there. Let me just engage it quickly. To the side, that's where we are. Now, honestly, after a big move like this, I don't expect it to just completely raid the highs. Ultimately, I think if it needed to, it would go to this level over here. Okay, but I think that it's due for a kind of pullback kind of scenario. Okay, big times in the day that you're looking for trades is right now what you're looking for. Another time is between 250 and 310, and another time is, so that's London, and then New York is 950 and 1010. Those are the times where it's most likely for it to have you have the most possibility of getting the direction correct, as long as you have the correct bias. Okay, the correct bias is easily set by having your your daily opening gap or your Hong Kong gap. That's really easy. You set that up, and that's bias every day. Right. Bunny May. Pleasure, no worries. Okay, now again, because we've had such a huge range day, the previous session, okay, well, it's not the previous session, it's 2 sessions ago, because PM session was in the afternoon. So this all here, that was PM session. So PM session came down after New York AM session ripped higher. So it went higher, PM session down. That's a very common thing. You don't expect the same equal moves in every single session. So we're not expecting, well, I'm not expecting that session will completely go down here. No, it's going to take a couple of sessions and eventually fill this in. As you can see, in this Hong Kong gap over here, there is a beautiful level of fair value gaps and liquidity and stuff that's just residing just under there. It's quite interesting. Okay. And yes, yesterday I mentioned the 12:30. So I use 12:30, the 12:30 PM candle in my analysis. What I do is I always plot it, because that is a potential London area for it to go to. It happens a lot where London goes back to fill in the liquidity that was set up at 12 to 1 o'clock. The 12 to 1 o'clock in London is the lunch break. Okay, so that's their lunch break. They have a little break. So it goes up, goes up, goes up. 12 o'clock on the dot. You'll see over here. Let's go to 12, 12, 12, 12. 12 o'clock over here. Okay, 12 o'clock until 1 o'clock, which is over here, is the time that New York traders have lunch. Okay, so that's when they're munching, they're out having coffees or whatever it is that they're doing. And after that, I expect in the afternoon session that normally, if you're taking a PM trade, the trade will activate between 150 and 210. So you'd be looking at this time right here, 150 on the dot over here. And what happens is that it takes the highs of that lunchtime, it breaks it, and then it comes down. And then makes a little move to those lows. And yes, it goes higher. But that's all you need. Literally. That's all you need. If you can correctly identify where price is going, and you target lows, or these lows down here, then you made a 2R. And yes, it is inside of a consolidation range. These moves you find within everything. This price. You can see that time right over there, set up perfectly. And we have fair value gap over here that was seen too. We have fair value gap in here that has been traded too. So it's come in, tapped it, gone down, come in, tapped it, going down. It's tried to make a little move over here. When I see something like this, that to me is an indication that smart money is getting ready. Okay, because it's like one of their indicators. They will rip price back and then immediately back to where it was before. I'll try to find another example. Yeah. This over here, these two candles over here, they rip it higher really fast, and then it goes bang straight back down. So they want to move, and everyone's like, oh, we're going to get into the move long. They go in long, they put their stops underneath this candle, and they get ripped. Done. Okay, they're out the trade, so then they can continue moving without people actually making money. Euro USD, I'm on the 1 minute. The 1 minute's up here. So if you see up here, this over here, that's the 1 hour. That's the 1 hour, and I use the 1 minute. So looking at the DXY, we've done the same thing. We have our opening gap, which is over here, from the closing of that candle to the opening of that candle over there. That's your opening gap. Okay, and we have our specific time, which is 2:59 closing. That's where Hong Kong closed. Oh, that's interesting. That's way too perfect. That's way too perfect. See there? Like, look how perfect this is. It's exact. I love it. I love price. Just gets me going every day. Okay, so how are we all doing today? What have we got up to? This week has been a wild week because it's been massive news. And good old Big Daddy P, Powell, all right, has decided that they are going to have their next meeting and it's going to be live. All right, so there's going to be revelations happening in that meeting. There's going to be revelations of some sort. Whenever they do a live meeting, it's like big news. Either they're like, oh, well, we're just going to continue ramping rates up, which means that dollar will catch a bid, it'll go higher. And if they decrease rates, which the market seems to be getting ready for, then that means that everything else will go up. Let's look at our day over here on AUD. AUD went up, came down to the opening inside of our Hong Kong gap, went up, came down, came down, came down, and then just took a rip in New York at 8 o'clock. We have GBP, same thing, came up, completely filled in this time, these times on the one side, and completely filled it in to the other side, and then ripped. Funny. And let's have a look at gold. If you were in the stream yesterday, you'll see that this was a massive, massive, massive Hong Kong gap. Okay. Price came down here, and then afterwards it decided we're going to go back up to this previous Hong Kong gap. Very funny. I think it's hilarious. And it happens every day. Again, my rule at this time has not been met. Yet again, it's another day. Oh, it's frustrating. But it's kind of expected in big news weeks. You know, lots of times people want to rush and get into trades. Okay, let me just tell you that is not a profitable strategy for the long term. It's a short, quick gambling strategy. If you want to just make you can either make quick bank or you can make quick loss. Okay, during these types of weeks where there's like big news and it's like back to back to back. Yeah, the market has to also digest the news, and so what they'll do is they'll rip people's faces off on both sides. Doesn't matter if you're long or you're short, they'll just start going for all these types of things. Now you have to be very, very conscious and present in your rules, your strategy, and your trades. Okay, it's very, very quick moves, and we definitely don't want our faces ripped off, right? I'm sure I can say that, and all of us will say the same thing. Now, being a, how do I put it? Hello, NH and T. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So, being a trader, okay, it's a high pressure keg environment. You are under immense pressure all the time. Whether it's live capital or if you have a demo account, you still need to treat it like live capital because ultimately it's going to be live capital. Otherwise, just go play a game. Okay, this is not a game. This is real money. Like, people treat it like a game. It's definitely not a game. Okay, like there's stories out there that have been really, really sad with traders and stuff. Terry, do you trade AJ? So that's AUD Japanese yen. I don't trade the Japanese pairs. Anything cross Japanese? It's not my thing. It's not my thing. And for those of you who don't believe I took the trade yesterday, let me just get it up. No, not Twitch. I'll whip up my Twitter. And okay, here we go. Let me pull this over here. Open that up. Present, please. Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who I tweeted, if you're not on stream yesterday, this should not if you're on stream yesterday, this should not shock you, because price at the exact time went to the Hong Kong gap, as we do every day. Okay, this good gent over here. So if you look at the replies, this is quite good. He's like, I took the long, thank you for the knowledge. Good on this oak. Well done. All right, my entry, let's pull it up. My entry was at 0.8075. My stops were 0.807. It was actually 69, but it's just underneath that 7. Okay, that right there, if you correlate that to the chart, so we correlate that to the chart on Euro. That is that right there. Okay. Now, I could have held that again. Like I said, I could have held that and taken 100R. But no, we don't. You have your rules. You have your strategy. You do what makes money. and then you dip. All right. Even though, yes, it could have gone forever. You could have gotten a re-entry on the OTE over here. OTE is optimal trade entry. So the bottom to the high, you're looking at any, like you have your range set. This is 38. It could be 62. Okay. I just reversed it on my fib. So I flipped it around the other way. So the OTE is very, very simple. You have this range over here. There's a big leg that moves very, very quickly, breaking market structure. Okay, you can see it on the 1 hour. It's very, very clear. Okay, here's market structure here. It breaks it. And then from the bottom to the high of that leg, you draw the fib from 0 to 100. The 62% right there, that is ICT's OTE entry. Now, this is a perfect example of his OTE entry. And you take it to either 150, 200, or you scale them in standard deviations. So maximum would be 400 up here. But I don't trade OTE, but when I used to take it to 150 or 200 max, which is a 4R. Again, 4 seems to be quite a big number. That's why I just, when I enter stuff, I'll do my 4, and then that's it. Then I'll just leave the rest. It's done. And whether it rips and rides and continues to go up to the moon, do we care? No, because you've obeyed your rules. You've made what you have had to make, and then there's always tomorrow. That's it. Okay, now, because trading is a pressure situation, okay, your mindset, your mentality is super important. Okay, it is super, super, super important. This is not a game, and I think you'll only feel that if you actually have money on the line. Okay, if you're just trading demos and stuff all the time, it's rough. Okay, because you get into the market and you're like, well, I don't know what commission is. I don't know what real spread is, because you've just been doing everything on TradingView instead of going into actual broker and trading. Okay, make sure that if you're ever going to trade money, you do it on demo first, and you prove that you can make money for a couple of months on demo. Okay, because again, trading is a pressure environment. You are in under such immense pressure all the time. You've got people, and I'm not just talking about pressure of losing money and making money. I'm talking about the pressure of, well, you go on Twitter or you go whatever social media platform you're on, and you got 50 people saying a different thing. They're like, oh, the EMAs are crossing here, and the RSI is saying this, and then the VWAP is saying that, and some other ICT people have said it's going long, some other ones have gone short. Yes, we all have our own unique way as ICT traders of trading the market. All of us have unique ways, because what we see in price is ICT has given us the tools, and we've made up our own strategies. Whether it's going with the trend or counter trend or reversing, every single one person has their own style. Like I said, my style is I am a consolidation reversal trader. So I wait for liquidity to get sniped on the one side, and then we go to the other side. It's interesting. This is a good place for it to do a little shenanigans and pull back. Let's see what GBP is doing. Oh, if you watch ICT 2022, equal highs, snap, came down, but it only didn't offer anything on the fair value gap or this one. It did actually on this one. Anyways, that's See these lows over here that got taken, and then seeks the opposing side taken. And then now, as I said, from there it's interesting because look what's happening in price. There is the perfect equal block right there. You can see it clear as daylight. This whole section of price is too perfect for words. We've gone to a 5 second, you'll see. G'day, Tom. No, you haven't missed anything. Again, it is a day where we are within the gap and there is no move, unfortunately. Without respecting that, watch what price does here. It's phenomenal. Like, just watch what how this candle reacts in the next one. Oh, and I'm off by like a micro pip here. I can tell because of what here, there. That little section right there. You can see how it's reacting. My Twitter IG is at the only Gentsla. Let's just close that out. Now, if you're very, very curious about your day, and if you have time or whatever it is, this price that's right here between, let me actually go into my 5 second chart and you'll see. I'll get the exact numbers for you. Hello. Over to the side. The exact numbers are 09449 and 09444. 0.5 pip range. 09449, which is over here, and 444, which is over here. That is your perfect range. Okay, that's your perfect square. Again, you can't see these things in TradingView, and that's why I use the 5-tick chart on a broker. Because it's exact. It doesn't get better. So you see what's happened? As I said, price is going to come, seek liquidity, and at this time, in this time window, it should start targeting the opposing side. So, to be honest, I would have liked if price opened over here, okay, it opened over here, and continued going down until 745. Okay, so 745 is over here. Okay, I would have liked to have seen price continue to go lower first, and then at that time make a reversal to come back for the gap. So it sets at 745. As soon as it goes there, 745, which is over there, it sets the gap, and then it dips immediately. Then it makes its move. But again, it didn't do it today. So what does that mean? It means it's another no trade Asia. Unfortunately. And yes, the rest of it here is just speculation. So right now what we're doing is we are waiting for, what's the time? The closing time of 9:15. That is going to tell us what the Hong Kong gap is. Okay, so the opening price of 9.16 and the closing of 9.15. Alright, so what's the time where everyone is right now? For me, it's 11:06 a.m. How's everyone's days, or how's it been? Hopefully your face didn't get ripped off in the event yesterday. 9:06 p.m. South Florida. John Doe. Nice. 18:06 in Canada. Well, got people from everywhere. Hey? Wow. You people are amazing. Look at these times. That's why we just correlate everything on New York time, because it just makes life easier for everyone. Have a central time that we all trade and trade off of, and then very easy to see. You just correlate that into your own time. I'm actually thinking of getting clocks on the walls, because I always set stuff on my phone. I always set like alarms and stuff to make sure that I'm always at the chart when I have to be at the chart. Because again, this AM session is so important for the whole day. And literally this Asia session, the points of liquidity that are found in this session will literally tell you how the whole day is going to go. Nice. See that interesting? There's equal lows that I saw before. That's really interesting. That's nice liquidity right there. And that correlates the same as these equal highs over here. So this is interesting. 9:10 is about to close within this time window. This actually might even be a trade, even though it's within the gap. Again, if I break my rule, we do not break rules. Forex trade reader. You can do the same thing on anything, on literally any, whether it's indices, whether it's commodities, whatever you want. Let's go look at gold. How is price respecting this price? It's amazing, isn't it? It's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. All these little price points, and anyways, it just makes me excited. because I love price. It's fascinating. It's actually like a skill. And most as well, what, like synthetic what? You're talking about crypto? No, it's not going to do that because right now there is no volatility in the Asian markets. It's very rare. Sometimes you will. How would one go about learning your strat as well as a deeper dive into ICT? What would you recommend? I trade options. Well, I would actually recommend just going onto ICT's channel, okay, and literally deep diving into his videos. You could start on with the 2022 playlist, or you could start with his other videos, like the market maker primer list, and he goes into like a deep dive on how these markets book. Is there a VI near that lower CVV? Are you talking DXY euro? What are you thinking about? Okay, sure, no worries. Because I'm looking at euro specifically right now on the 5 second, and we're about to hit that 15, 16. So there's going to be a little tight range over here. And then remember, this next time over here at 9:30 is normally when the news cycle comes out. Now, whether the news is actually relevant or not, there's always going to be some kind of rip. Now, it either rips into a fair value gap and then goes in the direction it needs to go, or it goes below like a low and then goes where it needs to go. So yes, I would actually. So yeah, John Doe, he has Twitter at the Inner Circle Trader. He also has YouTube channel, the Inner Circle Trader, and his videos are very, very in depth. If you can handle like long format videos, definitely go for it. Okay, I've literally watched all his videos. I've always been there through the whole time. I started trading, and his videos were the first thing that popped up in my feed. So I was able to start learning these concepts from the very, very beginning without fluffing with trend lines and all the other stuff that other people use. So for me, I always see the charts as time-based. Now, what I've done is I've used his concepts, his tools, and I have created my own like trading strategies and rules based off of the tools that he provides. He doesn't provide a tool in the sense of, oh, here's an indicator tool or a line tool or whatever. He provides time. He provides you entry techniques. He provides you a good way to think about things so that you can understand what's happening. Like you literally, it's deep diving into what the candles are actually doing. So Nightology, what I see on the 5 tick is that 9421 and 9416, there is a void, but it has been filled on this side over here. So 9416, over here. And 9421. There's a void here. I would definitely, if you're starting out, I would definitely start with the 2022 because it is literally an all-encompassing thing. It gives you a strategy. He gives you a strategy. He gives you what to look for, how to look for it, what times you should look for it, what times of the year you should be looking for it. So it's very, very comprehensive. It's like a full model in a way. And then, if you're feeling like you need to learn more, then yeah, definitely move on to his 2023. You could even go into his market maker, all of his like precision sniper concepts, all of that kind of stuff that he has. He's got a lot of stuff on his channel. Like normally when someone first hears of it and goes into channel, they are overwhelmed by that there's just too much stuff, and it's because what happens is that people start trying to merge a whole bunch of different concepts of his before they actually fully understand even one concept. So my advice is that you take one of his concepts or the tools that he provides in your mind, and you go through your charts with that one concept in mind. Literally just the one. You do backtesting on just the one thing. You don't add FVGs, you don't add like now the void, you don't add all this other kind of stuff to it. You just have one concept. Okay? Now, with that, you then start adding things into the basket. Again, you take each concept individually and you work with it for like a week, for like 2 weeks, and then you build up your way of looking at the market. It's all about visualization, how you visualize the market. And then it's like right now, there was a void here on the 5 tick chart, okay, the 5 second chart, and was behind other price. And was at the specific time at the 916, which is the 915, which is over here, to the 916. This over here is now our 9. I call it 915, but that is our what I call our Hong Kong gap. Now, the Hong Kong gap is not something that ICT has ever spoken about, has ever talked about, has ever even said anything about. Hong Kong gap is something that I realized and figured out on my own, and it was all again because of the tools and the way that he made me look at the market in a very certain way. Okay, it's literally the only reason why I see this stuff happening in the market is just because of how he explained things and taught them, and it's phenomenal. And you can see how price is just coming in, and it's coming into that zone exactly. That little perfect box over there. It came up, came down, there was a void, it came in, taps it up, went higher. Now again, he speaks, everyone knows now, because it's all over the world, what an FVG is. FVG is fair value gap. Okay? If you have a fair value gap, it means that the market has been inefficient at a certain point. Okay? At Amos, what is HFX? High frequency, high forex. Looks like you can take 5 pips every time, Kalashnikid. Well, if you did take that on the void, okay, and you had your lows in the proper place, which will be below the swing over here, then your trade could have gone to a 2. And let me just measure that range. 2.2 pips. So again, within my strategy rules, it doesn't fit because the even GBP here. So we have opening, we have our measure, 4 pips. It's just not enough. I need at least above 5 pips for it to actually make a move to the low. As in, if this is the low of the open and the Hong Kong, I would want at least a 5 pip range from the fair value gap, okay, to go there. And there's not enough range, even on this side. It was the same thing today. If you got in early, okay, at 8 whatever it is, and you hit that fair value gap over there, all right, and you could say you got in the middle, you saw this happening, and then you got in just over here. There is a 2.5 pip range. It's not enough. Whereas yesterday, there was enough space down here, okay, after it had moved away, there was enough space for it to go from that fair value gap to here was 20 pips. So I'm not looking for the full range, I just look for my 4R and I bounce. So there's enough range there now for there to be a sufficient move that you can actually take and be safe taking. IQ options or Cotex. My man, I do only a few things. I have Euro, GBP, AUD, and DXY. Gold, I just look at for fun. But if you're taking options, and whatever you're doing, like again, I could take this gold and switch it to Bitcoin if you wanted. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin USD. And I'm telling you, the same thing will present. Sure, this is dirty on the 1 minute. Oh, it's disgusting. Look at this. It's just filthy. Like, how are you expected to trade this? Yeah, so you can see why people aren't. Look at. Wow, that's dirt. That's so filthy. Why would anyone even trade this? Shoo. And the gaps in the market? 52, 403. Ah, it's dirty. It's really dirty. But again, the same rules apply. You find squareness. Okay, you can see this, the square here, over there. You can see it all the way back through here. This is a perfect square in price. You draw that out, price goes away from it, it breaks structure, and it targets. It's the same strategy. We have this perfect square price right over here. Price breaks away, and breaks structure, comes back, and goes straight to it. Wow. I look at that and I laugh. Look at this. Oh. There, that's a perfect square right there. That is perfect in price. I haven't even seen what's happening on the right hand side, so let's go to the right hand side. That, if you're trading Bitcoin, I assume it's going to come back to here at some point. Again, I'm not a Bitcoin trader. That is rough. I don't think I would trade that. No ways. It's too dirty. It's not clean enough. Gold. See the difference? It's just, it's clean. Like the chart looks clean. Ah. We could be looking at a 930 here. Okay, this might actually happen. These equal highs, they need, the ones I mentioned, they need to be targeted. And there's a lots of like all of this. Whenever I see big legs like this, I consider that to be an imbalance. Just like yesterday, we had this big leg, and then I mentioned that I'm expecting price to touch that at some point. It went up, the previous Hong Kong and opening gap, and then it came down and then saw that price. Now we have like a big little move like this. It's gonna hover, and what actually might happen is I've seen this many times before. Is that it actually incrementally just goes up slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly. It might be one of those days because of yesterday's humongous range. What's GBP doing? Imagine looking at gold for fun. Yeah, look at it is fun because look at it, it's funny. It does nice, it has nice moves. They're quite measured. Like the currencies right now, like actual forex, is trading more like, how to say, they're trading more like cryptocurrencies nowadays than they are. Like gold is more consistent. You look at this, it's very consistent. It goes from this to Hong Kong to the next Hong Kong, back to that Hong Kong, sets up a new Hong Kong, goes down, comes back into it, to the previous Hong Kong. It's yeah. That there is too perfect on DXY. Whenever you see perfection like this, where it literally looks like you can draw a straight line there for all the trend traders, that's liquidity. They've built this up. They're gonna use it to either push it down, snap this liquidity down here, or what they're gonna do is they're gonna use that to snipe that, go into this fair value gap over here, and then go higher. Which means that we'll see the same move happen here. I'm waiting for 930. What do I do when I'm not trading? I try and spend as much time with my family as I can. I work on my business as well. Because when we're here, it's almost like when we're trading, we're in our own world, in a way. You know, and like not a lot of people understand what we do, how we see the markets. It's very, very, I would say exclusive, in that it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of time. And a lot of mental fortitude. Because you had to deal with rough things. Mm-hmm. 14, 15. Let me change the music.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Oh yeah, if you weren't aware, today the 604, which is usual for the opening of DXY, okay, it wasn't at 604, it was at 522. So if we look over here, you see this, you need to be very conscious of these things as well. Over here we have 522 and the next one 745. So your gap is slightly different today compared to the other days. Yeah, it's been seen too.
There's no mercy in this world, just hunger thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Y'all, do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own.
Whoa, getting ripped. Told you not that he starts making his move. Let's just look at gold. It's like, tell me it's not perfection. Tell me that these points that I mark is just not perfection. Just, I love it. It's price is always it fascinates me. I'm actually just gonna draw this one over here. That's easier for everyone to see. I'll make it like red. That's a good one. I'll leave that there. See, now what's interesting is that I look at this, and normally my chart's like this, because I don't need to add the stuff on. Like I said, I do it for everyone visually. But the because because what I look for, that's why you can see I'm taking my tool and I'm measuring it from like where it needs to go to, which is I look at the previous price and it's telling me what needs to happen, the certain times, and the price on the right hand side as well. Because let's just pull this up, go to the bottom, put that away. What price is this over here? I'll let Nartology answer that one. I'll make it the color you're used to. $9,500. I mentioned yesterday that we have very specific levels. 800, 200, round number, round number. 500 is in between those two. Anyways, I'm expecting price next week to actually get back to what it's supposed to do. This week has just been an exception because of the news. And again, that's why we have caution. You wait for your strategy, your way of activation, your engagement rules, whatever it is, and you engage when you have to and how you have to. You break your rules, you lose. That's why I didn't enter this trade. Because, again, there was not enough range. It's not within my time frame over there to enter. Over here, it's within my time frame, but again, there's not enough range from there to there. It's 2 pips. It's nothing. So, my rules aren't met, so I cannot trade. It's as simple as that. It's it's such a hard thing, and like I was saying about your mentality, your mind has to be in a good place. It has to be in a good place, because if you've traded and you know that you've broken your rules and you've won, the satisfaction from that is a rush. Okay, and it's more like, oh, I just bought a lottery ticket and I won. My best trades happen in Asia and London. But again, it depends on the market. So it's whatever the market wants to offer you at that time in regards to these certain times. This week, Asia is normally my honeypot. It's normally delicious. Oh, it's normally perfect. And it's been perfect for like the last, how do I say it? About 6-7 weeks. It's been quite solid. In London, this week was actually a bit of a troll. It was only yesterday that it presented the perfect opportunity, because there's enough displacement and enough room for it to move from where it had to go back to the Hong Kong gap. So it gave validation in all different ways. When we're doing this, we're thinking always as trading, we're thinking about it's not just about taking your R multiples or your percent gains or whatever it is. You're trying to calculate how much. Do you have an example of a previous perfect trade in Asia? Okay, so we have all of this here. Okay, I'll leave that in the chart. So if you can all see it. My prediction again is that it is going to come up to here. It's going to seek this buy side liquidity, and from there, it'll start making some kind of move. Okay, that's just my explanation. Now I'm going to go into replay, and I'll show you a perfect condition. So let's just do this. Okay, that's the max I can go. But what you can do is you can press that again, that little back button. And you can do it again. A lot of people don't know this. You don't just need to replay once. You can do it up to just before 3 times. So right there's the second time. And then let's do it again. If you hit 3 times, perfect. What'll happen is that it'll say you can't do it. So you do a little bit in front. And it'll give you the time from before. And you're back 3 times, which is great. Okay, so just doing my quick analysis over here. Okay, we have our opening range. What time is it? 7:33. So that's just the lows and the highs of 6:30. So we have 6:30 over here. Sell side. We have 7:30 buy side. Just there. It's just set up now. Okay. Buy side. Okay, what do we have here? We have closing 259, and we're waiting. Opening range is from 604 to 7. We're still in the range. Okay, so let's just go forward. $7.45 is right there. Okay, now 45 on the dots. So that's your opening. Now we go forward. Wait for my time. Which is going to be around here. Okay, that there at 9 o'clock, so it happened. It indicated it wants to go down. Look at our range. So from that fair value gap, it's 2.5 pips, not enough. Let's go to the next day. But here, you can see at 9:30, okay, it jumped up and started making incrementally higher highs. This looks like it was a news day. So then we're looking at 9:50 to 10:10 for it to make a little switch around. It's a tiny break of structure. That's it. Oh no, it wasn't. Okay, so you have that. As you can see, this is 6R. This is 1.7R. You have a range of 2 pips. Over here, the range down there is a lot more. Again, this is why I don't take it in times news days. Okay, so now we're going to fast forward quickly. Go to the next day. It's days like that where you get chopped. 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Just hold this. London. Again. Rules. Because that was not filled down here. That was not filled. What day is this? Sunday. Okay. Now we have London at 3 o'clock ish. 1:30 down here, up there. This is how I trade London. See a breaker structure. I see a fair value gap. And I'll take that. That is 4.4, 5, whatever you want. Okay. So I'm just going to the next day. Is there anywhere? Shift left click, isn't it? Shift right click. Waited until 5 and made it move, but that would have been my trade. And I wouldn't have got sniped. That's fine. London done. Then we have next day. Let's go to the time. You can see where it went to. This opening gap over here, the Hong Kong gap. Okay, because 9:15 is like down here. That Hong Kong gap, 9 taps in, goes. Lovely. Winning. London has to see that price as well. Thank you. We're in the next day. So I'm just from. Okay, so we have our analysis again, because I get onto the charts at 8:30. That's when I look at them. Okay, what do we see? We have 604 around about here-ish. Okay, to 745, just over there-ish. That's opening gap. We have 2, 3, the Hong Kong. Okay, now what I'm seeing here is that there is big range. The price has made a perfect liquidity right there. Forward. Okay, creates it again. There's more perfect liquidity right here. Now we have you can see that 630 was over here, around-ish. Okay, a 30 over here. So we have that high over there. We have 730, the lows. It's right there. The lows have been taken of 730. So I'm waiting for 9 o'clock, 8:50 to 9:10. Give me an indication that it's going to go up. in that price range right there, you can see that it wanted to creep its way upwards. So 850 to 910. There was a massive leg. There was like this. We have a fair value gap, and it goes a little bit. That's all. That's all that it is. All that's required. No, we know it's gonna go up. Okay, because I forgot. I need to set the 915. Alright. So we have the Hong Kong gap here now. It's huge. It's nice. It's big. And we go. This is interesting. Okay, because this is it's Tuesday. Means that's gonna switch to 6 o'clock. Okay, I'll wait for snap. Snap it, thank you. No, it's news. This would be your New York trade. Buy side. Indicated it wants to go higher. We wait for your fair value gap. Go back in. And go up. See? Continue. Next day. Now, because this is not seen to, that again is now a nice little level. So we have liquidity being set up right now, which is great. I'm just go to 830 where I know we get on the chart. We'll do the same things.
There's no mercy in this world, just hunger thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
Opening gap. Yeah. We have enough range now. Okay, you can see here. We have enough range. Quite a few pips. We wait for 9 o'clock. Now 850 to 910. You can see now that we have 6.1 pips already. 5 tick, that would have been a break. 5 tick. Okay, I3. Wait. There's enough range now for it to go down. Again, it doesn't go all the way, but it goes to 1 point. That's why I have my rule of I take 1R, always, as in I take a thing at 2 and then at full target. It switched around just after 9:30. It came in, did that move. Interesting. Consolidation day. Fine. Great. I mean, there's a lot of liquidity racing underneath here. Which, when you see something like that, you know that later on they will make moves towards it. Let's go forward until New York, not New York, London. Wait until they started the move early. Okay, so later on they went straight to this target. Where's your 915? Here. Okay. The separation between these two. Then that's completed. Now it needs to do what it needs to do, wherever it's going to go. So because they did that move early, I'm not in the trade. Even though at over here it offers a really good opportunity to get in, and it hits the equal on the side there. We wait. What do we see? New York now. New York needs to offer. Okay. It needs to offer this. It's big news day. That's why. That's why it is a bit funny that day. Okay, I get it. It makes a lot of sense. Okay. That means that at, see where it goes to. Remember what I said? That this price was not seen was not seen to. And then during big news, it has to be seen to. So we have next day. New York is offering open again. You can see that New York over there, again, it went up, came down, went up, and it's offering that opening again with that nice liquidity. Now we set the new day up. What's going on? Now normally I have other things like GBP and all of this as well, but this is just going on pure chart. Hey, it's 30. Stop. Now price needs to break away from that range. Here, price broke away perfectly. Okay, it's gone away. That's a really good indication right there, because look at the range. 7 pips. It gives you enough space to wait for the correct opportunity to enter. We've been lost there, and that's fine. But then we wait for our next trade, which is 830. So it means I would have lost 250, and then at this time 830, because you can see the range now, it's quite big. We've got a nice beautiful range set up over here. Again, we measure it. 10 pips now. I'm coming up to 930. But has been broken, it's gonna go down, yeah. On 5 tick, you would have seen this shift over here. Okay, on the open of the on the open of the Hong Kong. Okay, you have quite a big Hong Kong range. Your 259 is down here. So your Hong Kong range is from there to there. It's massive, and it needs to get filled in. Straight from that candle on the 5 tick, that would have presented an opportunity. You would have seen this massive range come down. Yes, there's no fair value gaps, but you would have seen that behind here, there would have been, on the 5 tick, there would have been a void of some kind, and you could enter on that to go down. That's why I don't just use this chart. I use this whole gap needs to be filled in. Okay, and then it'll do its thing. 3 o'clock. Price snapped right down there. 3 o'clock. They're going to need to offer because they were actually in the range when they started. When they started the move over here to go down. So this could go further. Waiting. Tractor broken. So you're going to be looking to go up to this gap. Oh, came back and snapped that at 4 o'clock. That would have been a loss in London. Look, it must be news. Probably a big news event. When I see this, I know that there's going to be a big news event at 8 o'clock or 8:30. That it was news day. Bang. That was news. Indication is that it's going to go up at 10. So it's done this. We'll be looking for a breaker structure to go higher. Fair value gaps at that time are here and here. And we go up. Isn't that perfect? So whether you took it from here or you took it from, you wouldn't have gotten into this one. We'll continue going. It's going to continue to go up. Yep. Then of course we have the 12:30 candle come in, the 12 to 1 o'clock. So 12 over here until 1 o'clock comes in. 1 o'clock comes and snaps that liquidity, goes and seeks 12 o'clock down here. From there, it makes the rest of the move. We have our next day. Now, in our next day again, this liquidity, okay, has not been seen to. There's another indication that we're going to go and target buy side. We keep the same bias all day. That's literally what I do. I look at wherever the time is. Charts at 8:30. And we have an opening at 6:04. $7.45. Yeah, you saw that, right? Yeah. That could have been a move. It's targeting the open, and it comes here and comes down. Now we have our next move. Okay, that's I'll be quite confident in that because there's enough range. No. Happens. Australian news event. Range around 10 to 10:10, 8 or 10:30 goes to the open. From there it makes its way. Wait till 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock somewhere over here. Yeah, that was offered, that fair value gap. I'll be confident that that fair value gap would be going to the opening. We have 6 o'clock reversal continues. Lovely. Look at this news. What is this news? Consumer sentiment. Wait. 10. This is too perfect. It's going to snap it and instantly reverse. Out of the 5 tick, that would have shifted over here, and you would have taken that. And then we're targeting. See that perfection right there? At the low. And there's enough R there, enough range. Even though it comes back, it's fine, you made money.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home run.
Okay. 30 targets. This liquidity is almost done. Let's wait for that. Okay. I'm gonna go back for the opening gap. So you see, when I said it's going to go back for the opening gap, it's very simple. It doesn't necessarily need to go all the way. All you need is the opportunity to make money, and then you're out. It wasn't completed. Oh, London has to offer. Same thing. Not fair value gap right there, and 3 o'clock has just come in. So we see if I was able to pull the 5 tick charts out, amazing. I'd love to have seen that perfection in price, but let's to go down. That perfection in price pulls it to go down. Then we have 4 o'clock. And there we go. Now London, I mean New York, has to offer the same thing. You have to offer this price. What you're doing is you're waiting. Go up. It's a big day, as in before news. The chop. Now the sell side hasn't been offered. Same thing. Wait. Super tight range. Starts opening. 9 o'clock. I'd be hunting for sell side. What was it? It was it right there, that perfection in price. Oh, that needs to come now. They need to pull price back into that area. London, they need to offer opening. So doing this, I'm doing this just for you. Opening in 4, 7:45. See how it comes in, takes this, then makes this move. Funny. Now, coming up to 3 o'clock, we're looking like London's made its move through there. It's coming to seek its liquidity from the day before. And then it might leave this unfilled. We'll see what price does. Don't look at the candle, I'm looking at the time. 50. See? Comes to the opening. Done. Not has enough room to seek perfection. And there we go. That's actually important. 4 o'clock move. Oh, goes straight up to 9. Perfect. Good time. Oh, wait. London will come. Big news day. You know where it's going. All these moves. You know where they're going. All these big news events. Now it's finally going to come in and fill this down here. Yeah, another day that I'm looking for sells. What comes in? Or 850. 10. Which isn't broken yet. It's broken. Go down. Sorry, I didn't put the opening gap there. My bad. $7.45. Range. Again, measure it out. 7 pips. We have our structure set. We have perfection in price. On the 5 tick, there's lots of fair value gaps and stuff you can enter off of. And it's targeting. Yeah. That was a perfect day. Now we have London. Come in, come up, target, perfect. Now where 3 o'clock is, it wouldn't bother me because we are within this range over here. I wouldn't trade it. Again, I use this as a target, so I wait. Six o'clock could trigger. Go higher. We wait for New York. New York does it. There it goes. It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyways, I'm over my time. So I just want to see where we are right now. Exit, yes. And we see where price has gone to. 930. Let's come back in. It's amazing. See how it consolidates in that perfect price range? Funny. Again, if you were able to have a replay where you had AUD, as in AU, GU, EU, and DXY like all right next to each other, and they're all like on the same screen, you could be like, okay, let's do this backtesting. You could see the SMT between, and you wouldn't just be taking blind trades. So I would consider what I was just doing like blind backtesting, because you don't have the other charts as confluence. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start looking at other times for this challenge as well. I'll be streaming now, so you can find the setup, as in the liquidity and stuff for the day that is required. This MMG still needs to be filled, but once you have that in your charts and stuff, it's very easy to find where liquidity and stuff resides. Very, very easy. Because I have differences. So if, for example, you see this over here, you have this in price right there. See what happened with this price over here at that 930. If you're looking at GBP and AUD, okay, at 930, there is more of a break. Now, because opening is over here, you have your range from there higher, it's 5 pips. That fair value gap within there would have given me the trade. I didn't trade it because it didn't fit my rules, but you could have had a trade. So that's why I have all of them up at the same time, because you're able to see where the market is and what it wants to do. If you have just the one instrument up, it's quite challenging because you don't have general market sentiment. So where am I at my challenge right now? I'm sitting on a flat 0 still on my challenge. So what I'll possibly do, like again, I'm waiting next week. Next week's going to change because next week's news, let's go into our news index. And there's also days that you just don't trade. There's no point in trading because it does consolidation. So today and tomorrow, today's not much big news. Tomorrow is FOMC, where the people are speaking on Saturday. Speculative net positions, yeah, the middle of the month. We then have next week. Next week, oh, of course today is going to be like it is. It's a public holiday on Monday. Another one. It's 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks of public holidays. That's, okay. But then we have, on Tuesday, in Australia, we have the RBA meeting minutes, which hits 9:30 on the dot. So that's gonna the meeting minutes is almost like FOMC in a way. It's like the Fed. The RBA is like the biggest bank in Australia, and they and what they do is whatever they say affects Asia. You'll see. Then we have so that's Tuesday. That means 9:30 is a day that you expect extreme volatility at 9:30 on the dot. Then Wednesday, another FOMC. All these people. We have initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then a whole bunch of FOMC meeting people speaking again at the end of next week. So next week, possibly we'll have some trades. I'm confused. The United States is a holiday. Why didn't the RBA just do it on the Monday? Because they need that American liquidity. That's why. Yeah, no worries at all. No worries at all. Thank you so much, everyone. You have a fantastic, fantastic day, night, whatever time it is. Go to sleep, have a shower, eat some food, drink coffee, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. See you on Tuesday.